Hi, everybody. Welcome to our hands-on lab of machine learning and Red Bull Racing with Oracle. Today, we have Matthew Pang and Charles Yap, who are going to be presenting and helping you with any questions. We hope you enjoy the lab. And without further ado, I'll hand you over to Matthew.
Thanks, Jane. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Matthew Pang. I'm the solutions engineer, and currently I actually stationed in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. All right. So for today's lab, we're going to learn how can we actually use the machine learning, right, to predict the result or the outcome for the F1 race. All right. So for the lab's details, this is the lab link that we're going to walk through today. So if you're currently with your handphones or mobile, or is there any webcams that are currently on your desktop, you can always just scan this QR code that will lead you to the lab main page. However, if you prefer the short URL, this is the short URL that you can access. Just by accessing to this short URL, it will lead you to the same lab URL. All right. So, and then again, just a friendly reminder, like for the participant that you have registered with us, your emails have been whitelisted to sign up our Oracle free trial. All right. So all you need to do is you just go to this oracles.com/cloud/free. And then you register with your email, that the same email account that you register for the events today, and then you'll be able to get the free trial accounts for yourself. All right. I will stay here for like 30 seconds just for you to have to access to the lab. And if you need to access to a free trial, by all means, just please do so. If there's any question that you have or any difficulties that you have, please feel free to communicate with us via the chat or the Q&As, and we are more than happy to answer you. All right. Right, let's know if you have the difficulties. So I'll move on to the next slide. All right, what happens after you have done the hands-on lab today? All right, remember, after today's sections, you can go to this URL to earn your badge by answering some of the quizzes. All right, so we have a public Slack channels that are available, that if there are any Q&As that or any question or any difficulties that you face, even after 2 days, right? Feel free to come to this public Slack. Then you search for the channels, JPEGs underscore Red Bull underscore HRL1. If you have any question or any technical issue that you face after 2 days sections while you're having your own tryout, please feel free to communicate with us from that Slack channel. All right. Okay. Okay. If you missed the link, don't worry. Charles will be sharing the link in the chat later on, so you guys can access from there. All right. Okay. So let's go to our agendas today. For today's sections, there are 7 labs that we will need to undergo. Right. So firstly, we will need to create a stack. Like how can we prepare our environment from the stack? And then after that, we'll walk through like how we do the data collections. And then after that, we walk through how we're prepping the data. Then of course, as a data science, after we prep data, we will need to explore that what the data we already have, right? And then after that, only we decide that which ML will be suit best for our models before we release for consumptions. Okay. Again, any questions or any difficulties that you guys facing, right? Please feel free to communicate with us from the chat window. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to our lab one. All right. So if you are using our lab, right, you will realize that there are some difference between the official lab and also what I shown it here, right? There are some minor difference. Okay, no worries that we are going to tell you what you need to do from here. Okay, why we have this? Because we have upgraded due to security reasons that we have additional security step that we need to implement in the image. So that's why you have to go for this step. All right. Okay. So just let me share my screen. All right. So all right. So Charles, am I looking at the live lab screen?
Yes, you are.
All right. Okay. Great. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the page that you will see when you are logged into the live lab. All right. Like I say, in this hands-on lab, we are going to have 7 labs in total. All right. So before you get started, please register your free trial account. But if you already have the Oracle Cloud account, you can always use it, right? Okay. Before we start our labs, okay, we need to generate the SSH key. Why? Because the instance currently we are using is a Linux instance, and we will need this SSH to log into our instance later on. This is because when we provision, we need to get the token for the Jupyter servers. And how we get it? We have to use it via the PuTTY. All right. So there are total 5 options that you can choose currently. All right. Just pick one which is convenient for you. So you can append it and look at the step that what you need to do to, let's say if I'm using the Oracle Cloud Shelf, right? So I can just follow the guide like provided in this live lab to get my public and private key. And then I should be able to log in from here. All right. And if you are using a Mac OS, this is how Mac OS work. Windows. And if you're using GitHub for Windows, then this is this is the step that you need to go through. Okay. Last but not least, if you're using PuTTY or you are using the Oracle, you are using the Linux, this just follow what is related to you, right? If you're using Linux, you just follow the next step, right? If you're using Windows, then you have more options, then you can just pick one of the options for Windows. All right. Okay. So after you generate the SSH key, right, the next thing what you need to do is you need to create a stack using Resource Manager. So I'm going to show you how can you come to this stack later on. So let's go through the lab. Let me high level briefly what you need to do. All right. So this link is to help you to provisions the data science instance that you require. All right. These are the steps. All right. Okay. How I come to this, how I provision. Okay. Before I click this icon, right, I will need to log into my cloud account first. Okay. You come to cloud.oracle.com and then you key in your tenancy name. All right. So how you get this tenancy name? if when along the way, when you register the free trial account, you are required to key in a unique name for your tenancy. So this is the name. All right. So after that, continue. And then I log in with my account. All right. So voila. So this is the first page when you land into the Oracle cloud infrastructures. All right. So what you can see instantly, like you see there are some always free services available. Like you can always feel free to try it out, right? If you are the sport fans, I think Strava is not something strange for you. So this is how you can actually analyze some data on Strava in our Oracle Autonomous Database. You can always feel free to try. And also, whenever you see there's always free eligible offerings, right? You can just use it. And then let's say, take an example, you can just use it, and there are some guidance for you to have a quickly provisions some resource or some instance that you can use immediately. All right. So for this lab, after you land it here, we're not going to do anything. All right. We just leave it here for now. All we need to do is we just need to go back to our workshop. There's the deploy on the cloud link here, right? Just click it. Eventually, when you click, you will pop up a new tab, like with all the parameters, provision, all parameters will be bring over here, right? So once you add this step, all right, so you just choose accept, okay. All right, remember, if you are newly provisioned, probably you only have one compartment, all right. If you're not, then you have multiple compartments. Just select any one of the compartments that you want to create, all right. Why this step is actually is for us to have the better control on the resources. But however, if you don't have it, you can always create at the root. It won't give you any issues. Just as a best practices point of view, normally I will create a new compartment, and then I will split the compartment, and I'll create my resource under one single compartment itself, right? So how to create a compartment? Long story short, you can come to our identity and securities. There is a compartment. There is a compartment options here. I just click here. So if you need to create a new compartment, you just create, like, let's say testing. I will create under the parents, which is the root. By default, this is the mother's compartment for all the compartment. It's a root compartment, right? So however, if you already have some others compartment created, you can always have the options to select others compartment as well. Just for this testing, I will create the compartment in here. Oh, yeah, testing. All right. So once you create a compartment, then it will take effect immediately. See, the compartment is created here. All right. So, and then you can go back to your stack. If you're losing the stack, no worries. You can always come back to the link here and click the icon again. It always give you to the same page. Right? So now I create in testing compartments. Accept. Okay. There are some small note I would like you guys to take note on here is like, if you are from Australia regions, all right, so I will be strongly recommend that you use the Sydney's regions, all right, because the reason is very simple. I'm using this region and it's working fine for me, all right. So if you are using other regions, all right, this is crucial for you to do the next step is because if you are facing some errors on the computer image, you might need to specify which image to use, all right? But if you are using Sydney, then you don't have to do this because Sydney is working fine, all right? So however, if you want to try another region, then you are feel free to go ahead, no problem with that, all right? So just let us know if you're facing any errors or difficulty. Just let us know what is the error message, then we'll be able to address the solutions for you if you are using non-Sydney region. All right. So after you have done, you have selected compartments, right? You go to next, right? Next thing what you need to do is you need to include your SSH. Remember, before we come to here, we will need to generate an SSH key, right? So this is where we hope, where we apply our SSH key. So for me, I already have my pre-generated, right? So all I need to do, I can just copy my public key here. Next. All right. Okay. When you, at this stage, remember, make sure that your apply is run. And then you just click the create button. And then it will provision the instance that you need. All right. This step will take about probably 5 to 10 minutes for you to provision the instance. All right. So I'm not going to do anything because I already have my instance in place. So just let me know if you have any difficulties. All right. So after you create, and then it will lead you to the page. Okay, I think I can just show you. Yeah. When you click your create, right? So it'll bring you to this RMJ page, right? This is where you see the job is start running. Okay. So when your job is running, once your job is finished, I can show you some of my existing compartments. So once your job is finished, right, you will see like both job is succeeded, right? So then you can quickly check some of the variables here. Okay, what is the public key? What is the ID for the instance, and so, all right. And then to check your instance, okay, you can come to the job here, and then you check for output. Okay, you will see there's some information. Firstly, what is the image that you're currently using, and then what is the public IP, and what is the Jupyter URL. All right, we will need the both public IP and URL that to go into our Jupyter server. All right. So until here, any questions? All right. Just okay. Okay. So after your instance is done, what you need to do, right? Easiest way. Okay. Firstly, you need to make sure two things. Okay. Before that, let's go find our instance first. All right. So after your stack is completely run, you will be seeing there's an instance under the compartment that you created. Okay. For example, just now I just create the compartment, create my instance under default, right? So it will create a compartment called Red Bull hands-on lab, HOL, right? So I just click from here, then I will see my instance is at here. Okay. So when I come to here, okay, why I need to come to here is because before I log in to this instance, right, I need you guys to ensure that one thing, okay? After you've seen this page, you comes to the Red Bull subnet, all right? Okay, you'll bring you to the Red Bull subnet's page here, all right? So I need you guys to click on the security list, right? Make sure that these two port is added, right? Like 8888 and port 8443. This is very important. If you not getting this done, you cannot access to your Jupyter server. However, when you come to here, you've seen this, right? Means your current networking, it should be okay. So all you need to do is you need to log in to your instance right now. So to ease, for this case, I'm going to use the putty, right? Okay, let's go back to my instance page because I need the public IP, right? So your public IP will be shown here. So I just copy here. And then because I'm using the public private key, so I need to come to my SSH here, authentications. Then I need to browse for my security key. Okay. Right. So after that, I go back sections. So if you want to save a section, so you can save Red Bull. Okay. Save it. And then I open. All right. Okay. Until here, I think if you've seen this means you are managed to log in into your Linux instance. All right. For all the instance in Oracle Cloud Infrastructures, right, we always log in as the user's OPC, right? When you log in at OPC, eventually you will straight away authenticate your private key with the public key, and then you'll be able to log in. All right. Once you've seen this, right, it means like you already successfully logged in into instance. Okay. Why you need to instance? Okay. Right now, once you provisions your data science instance, you should be able to come in to log in to see the login page from the port 8888 as well. All you need, you just need to use the public IP, then go to the port 4888. All right, sorry, go to the port 8888. Right, you will see this page. Because this is a newly provisioned Jupyter servers, right? So this is the first time login. You will need a tokens. Because the new provisions Jupyter server, there's no password installed. However, you can log in with the tokens. So how to come to token? You need to come to the Linux instance. How to do that? We will log in with the putty. All right. Okay. So right now, from here, how can I get the token? Okay. So to make the easiest way is like, okay, if you are not familiar with Linux, I need you to find two things. Firstly, you type pwd because I need to check the directory. All right. So from here, why I need this? Because I need to know what is the initial directory I land into. And then I type ls, I want to see what kind of folders I have. To get my environments up and running first, before I can take I can get my Jupyter tokens, right? I will need to boost up my Red Bull environment. Okay. So when I type the list directory, I will see there's a Red Bull environment here. All right. So this is my home directory. So all I need to do is this is a very important step, right? I type source /home/opc. All right. Then I will go to Red Bull env. So inside this Red Bull environment, there is a bin folders, and then inside bin folder, there is the activate folders. So this is the script that I need. All right. I will post it into the Slack group so that if you're at that step, then you can just copy my script and just type it. All right. So okay, sorry again. So I need to run again.
Matthew.
Yes.
I think some of the participants are asking you to share the full screen because it's not matching with your current screen.
Oh, sorry. You're looking at, sorry, my bad. You should remind me like 10 minutes ago. All right. Sorry, my bad. Okay, where are we? All right. Okay, so let me start again. All right. Okay, after you log into PuTTY, all right, if you're not familiar where you land on, you can just type pwd. So this is your home directory, right? So I want to see what I have in my home directory. So I will see there's a Red Boot environment here, right? So what I need to do is I need to log in into this. I need to call some parameters from this directory. So how can I do it? I can just use this script. I can do this because I already know where's the directory. However, if you want to use a more traditional way, I can cd to redboot env. So I always again, there's a bin folders, then I can cd is bin. All right. So I see there's an activate here. Okay, so all I need to do, I just source. Same thing, home/opc/redboot env /bin. Okay. So once you see there's a Red Boot environment at the front, means you already succeeded, right? First part. Okay.
Matthew, can you
Yes.
try to enlarge the screen?
Enlarge.
I think the font, if possible.
Font. How can
Yeah,
enlarge
because the participants are saying that it's too small.
Oh, yeah. I think that. I don't know how can I enlarge it.
Is it under change settings?
Let me see. Do you see any change settings? Oh, here. Okay. Terminus. Appearance. Column row.
The window appearance.
In here, let's see. Let me try that. See. I can't.
Ayush is saying that it's in the appearance.
Oh.
Change settings.
Change settings, appearance.
The point change.
Let's change to 20. Is it better
okay. Now? Yeah, should be.
All right. So once you found the directory, which is this part, and then you source it, eventually it will show you that the Red Boot env is already in the environment. So from here, all you need to do is you just type Jupyter server list. And you will see the token is actually written here. All right. So you just highlight the token. How to copy, you just right click if you're using mouse. Okay. So you will copy your tokens. So after you copy your tokens, you go to a login page here, you just paste the token here, and then you'll be able to log in. All right. Okay, until here, this is some tips for you, right? Let's say if you want to, you want to like key in token every time log in, you can actually key in the token here, put the token here, and then you give it a password at your choice, and you set a new password. All right. So once you set it, right, you will need to restart your Jupyter instance for it to take effect. So after that, you will no longer need to key in the token anymore. All right. So right now, I will show you how I log in with the token. So let's say I log in with tokens. I just click login. All right. So eventually, it will lead you to the Jupyter instance here. All right. So let's say if you put in the password like what I did for my Jupyter here. So all I need is I just need to key in the password, then my choice. Hey, sorry, I forgot the password. Oh, okay. Log in. So you will lead me to the same page. So this the difference between like if you're using token or if you decided to log in using your password. But remember, if you are at this page, right, you are seeing what I see here. In order for you to get a new password, you will need to find the token first anyhow, right? So, and then after that, you key in your new password and then you log in and set new password. After that, restart your Jupyter server for it to take effect. Otherwise, it won't take effect one. All right, please bear in mind that. So how to get the token? 2-step. Firstly, you source to the directory, this one, /home/opc/redbool/env/bin/activate. After you've seen this one appear, and then you type the Jupyter server list. All right, and then the token will be returned here. Okay, when you are here means our first lab is done, right? You already successfully provisioned your data science platform. So next step, what we need to do, right? We need to go and study we'll need to proceed with our data science work. All right. So I take a pause here and let me have a quick look of what is the Q&As that you have. All right. So just let me recap what I did in this lab. All right. Firstly, I go to my lab here. Oh, sorry. Firstly, I log into my cloud environment. And then after that, I'll click. So I come back to my live lab link. Under the lab 1, there is a deploy to Oracle Cloud icon here. So I just click that. Eventually, it will pop me a new page for me to create my instance. All right. So once my instance is created, so I will be able to check my instance in the compartment that I just created, right? So in order for me to log in into my instance, I need to get my public IP here. So I'm going to use the PuTTY, all right? So after I take the public IP, I log in with PuTTY. This is where I landed. Maybe I just start again. After I have logged into my PuTTY, right? I can just key in the public key here. Remember, if you are using the SSH, please always put your private key here, all right? After you are done, you can just log in into an instance. Log in as OPC. This is the default administrator for all the Oracle Linux instance, all right? So from here, I will need to call the environment for the Jupyter. So I can type source /home/opc /redbool/env/bin/activate. The script already copy into the chat if you are in the Linux instance and put this, so you can just copy and paste this script and run. All the environments sharing the same path. So once you activate, you will see there's a Red Boot environment at the front of all the commands line. All right. So from here, I type my Jupyter server list for me to get my tokens. Okay. Maybe just let me change the appearance. Okay. So this is what I did. I come here, I call the parameters in this directory, then I type Jupyter server list to get my tokens. Why I need these tokens? Because I need the token to access here. This how to come this page. I will use my web browser of my choice. Then I go to the HTTPS public IP and port 8888. That you will lead me to this page. Okay. When you type this, remember to use HTTPS, because if you are using public IP and the port directory, it will give you some server not found error. All right. Okay. All right. I will take some of question is Q&A by Andrew's Day. Andrew, if you need to generate the SSH key, there's a step actually provided in the lab. All right. So like in this lab, you will see there is a general SSH key. Okay, you just click here, and then you go to all the options. You just pick one of the options that you need. All right. For me, take an example, because I am actually using the Windows versions of PuTTY. So the easiest way for me to get this SSH key actually is to use the PuTTY gen. All right. So I can generate one public key. Right. So once I generate, I just copy my public key in some notepad or whatever, or I can just straight away save my public key as a public key file, and then I save my private key. All right. So what I did actually, I just copy this as my public key, but at the same time, I save my private key somewhere just to store it, so that I will know that when I call my public key, when I log into my instance, I need to make sure that I choose the right public key. All right. So that is a long answer short for you. This is one of the easiest options that I have at this moment. However, if you want to try out other options like Oracle Cloud Shelf or Mac OS or Windows 10, you can feel free to do so. Just follow the guide provided in here. It will give you the same thing. All right. Okay. Right. So after let's give me a second. Okay. So now we have completed the lab 1. We need to go to lab 2. All right. Okay. In this lab 2, we are going to collect the data from the website. Okay. Well, the data that we need to collect is the race result, driving standing, and the team standing result from one part this August web. All right. So you don't have to do any scripting to collect the data, because when you log into the Jupyter servers, right, all the script that you need actually is already here, right? You see there's Formula One collects data, weather data collect. All right. So until here, I need you guys to check something. Okay, to check 2 things mainly, right? You see there are 2 folders here. One is data, one is data F1, right? I need you guys to check, is there any data available here? All right. So just like take an example, if you have data, what you see, it should be there's some weather CSV, result CSV, and so. All right. If you don't have like this, okay, don't worry. I will share 2 links in the chat. All right. These are the 2 links for you to download the data. Okay. So once the data is downloaded, okay, yeah, I actually share 2 links. One is data, one is data underscore F1. So you click the link, you should be able to download a zip file for all the data that required. Okay. So after you have downloaded the data, all right. So you just unzip it, then you will see all the data is here. So what I want you to do is like, let's say I want you to upload all the data into here. How to upload? You see there's the upload files in your Jupyter's options here, right? So you just click upload. And then you select, go to the directory that where you store the data. Okay. Right, actually I store my data here. Then I just select or okay, you don't have to upload the zip file, but if you accidentally upload, it also doesn't matter. It won't make any impact, right? I just upload all my CSV file, open, and then the file will slowly upload, all right? And do the same for the F1. So upload, so this time instead of data, I go to data F1. I filter all the CSV. Okay, open. All right. Okay. Why I need you guys to do this? Because if you don't have the data, you will need to go to from scratch here and run the script from here. And this took very long time. All right. It took about an hour for each file before to collect the data. So because we don't have so much time we don't want to wait in this lab. That's why I actually prepare the data for you. So all you need to do is just follow my step. You just click the link that I have give you guys. And then after that, you unzip it and upload to the data and the data F1. If once you're here, you should be good to go. All right. Okay. So those are the steps that I need you guys to take care before we start our labs. Okay. So now we go to our lab 2. So lab 2 is we need to collect the data. So like I say, if you have no data, so you need to run the data from scratch. But if you already have, you can just run the default one. Okay, to do that, let's come to here. Okay, let me close all my tabs first so that it's easier. All right. So first lab, we're going to double click on this 01 underscore 0 formulas 1 data collections. All right. So when you click here, you can see that all the script that you need is already there. All right. Why we need this? Okay, as a data scientist, we always know that our first step before we can start our data science work, we always need to collect the data, right? So after we collect the data, this is where we analyze the data. So to make sure that your things is run correctly, okay, I will just quickly restart the kernels and run again. So eventually, if your data is there, all your data is in place, you should be able to see what I see now. Okay. So from here, we can did some of the quick study on that. So we can know that the race, the F1 actually start on 1915, right, in UK. So the latest data that we have is on the years 2019, which is as Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi, right? So these are all the routes and results and so, all right? So if you are the F1 fans, then this probably makes more sense to you, right? You can have the further elaborations on that. All right, so then we can have the contractor standing. We know that the first round, okay, let me see, contractor scope, okay, season 1. I think this one is talking about the standing of the which which team won the race. All right, so until 2019, so William won the champions, that we all know that. All right, so after that, we will run some statistical and see the correlations between the data. If you see what I see, means you're in a good hand. All right, so if you have seen this, means your data is all there. Okay, so then the second step, we will need to collect the weather data. Same thing. There is a 01 underscore 1 weather data collections. You just click it. Okay. To check your data, you just run the restart kernels and rerun the whole notebooks. If your data is okay, you should see what I see. Okay. So check all the correlations. So it's still executing. Okay. So now it's done. Okay. And followed by the next one, which is the qualifying data. Okay. Same thing. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Okay. So it's done. All right. Okay. Now we have all the data that we need. We have formulas data, we have weather data, when we also have the qualifying data now. So next step, what we need to do is like we need to emerge the data. Okay. So now we are actually in the lab 3, emerging data. Nothing much you need to do here also. You just need to run the script to make sure that everything is okay. All right. Because everything is already there in place. So again, same thing. All I need to do, I just need to restart the current kernel and run it. Okay, this step, okay, if you are doing already start doing some data science work, we always know that after we get the data, we need to find the correlations between the data, right? Why we need to do so? Because we need to because in order for us to create a more meaningful data models, we might need to combine multiple data sources together. All right.
Matthew, sorry
Yes.
for interrupting. There's one question from one of the participants. He tried to run the Terraform configuration, but it's giving him an error saying the shape VM standard 2.2 is not found.
VM standard 2.2 is not found. Okay, this thing can be resolved, but provided if you need to do some more technical works. Okay, let me show you what you need to do. All right. So firstly, I need you to go and check what is the shape that you have, because if you're facing the VM standard 2.2, which is not found, probably this VM shape have been retired from your regions. So firstly, what I need to do is you will need to go to, okay, let me see where is the easiest way to.
You're trying to go to the stacks management, is it?
No, I try to find what is the shape available in the tenancy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you comes to okay, how to come here? You comes to the government's administrations, right? There is a limit code and usage. Okay, from here, I want to know what kind of shape I have. Okay, need compute. Okay, right. Okay. So if you're looking at what I see, is I telling that I have, let me see the resource standard A1. Okay. Right, I select compute and this is the scope. I just, maybe I see all. Okay, all right. All right, this is all the shape available in these regions. All right, so I need to find like where is the VM standard. Okay. Okay, or the other way, like if when you come here, I think this way is fastest. I come to instant. Okay. What I need you to do here is when you at this page, I want you to see what image that you have at this moment. Okay. Change the shape. Okay. All right. Okay. For you to check your shade, like I think this place is easiest. This one immediately I know what is the available shade that I have. All right. So right now, because by default we are using this 2.2, so you don't have, right? So you need to use the other one. Maybe you can use a E2.2. All right. To do that, okay, this is a bit technical works. Sorry guys, I will need to brief this because if you guys having this problem, at least you guys can know what to do. All right. So I will need to download the Terraform file. Okay, so for me to do that, I can come to the stack here, right? And then I go to, let's say I go to the default. So I will need to download the Terraform file. Okay, download Terraform stack. Or is there a better way? Let me see. Yeah, I go to job. I think download the Terraform configurations will be more prefer. So eventually, once you download, it will be a zip file. Okay, maybe I give you a name first. Right. Wait. So this is the situations that I mean, if you are not using Sydney, you might have some technical issues. So this is what it. So I can unzip it. Okay. So you go to compute here. Okay. If you are using any notepads, then just edit it with the notepads. All right. So from here, you will need to find the shape that is currently using. Here. Okay. So this one is standard 2.2, right? Also, all you need to do is like, okay, let's go back. Well, I'll tell you what you need to do, right? So you see which are the shade that is currently available in your tenancy. If this one is not available, by right, you shouldn't be seeing this, right? So you can change to others, like let's say 2.1 or E2.2. You just need to copy the name here, right? And then come to here and you replace this, like this. Then you save it. You save it, and then you go back to your here and you zip it again. You zip it under different name, and then when use comes to your stack here, right? You can just create a new stack, and then you just upload the templates, or you can just drag your entire zip file to here. That is where how you change the stack. It's how to change the shape. All right. I hope I answer your questions. Because when you have this problem, then this is the way that you go, like, the script. If you can't use the standard VM, you have to just come here and change the Terraform script. That's why I will recommend if you're using Sydney, then you should have no problem on this area. All right. So that's how you can handle the shape problem. Okay. Without further ado, let's go back to our labs. Okay. Where we are now, we are in the lab 3. We need to emerge all the data that we have here. All right. So same thing. We just need to run a script because we already have everything written. Right. You just run it, and if it is error-free, mean you've succeeded. All right. Just took 3 seconds. Okay. So the next thing, what we need to do is like we need to do some explorations. Okay. So F1 have been a very long history in the global, right? So before we can do any machine learning or we want to apply any machine learning that actually is suitable for this, we need to do some sort of explorations. All right. So let's run the script and see what's the outcome that we get. Okay. Try to find some, okay. Not finish. Okay. Okay, I'm not an F1 expert, okay, but based on the layman, what I see here is like, if your team will win more race, like the driver's error should be reduced. Like, let's say, if I'm a drivers, if I perform no error, I finish the race, eventually that is good for the team because at least I'm still on the race, right? So you will see that all the drivers, if the driver of the team, they have more driver error, as though more mistake, most likely they are in the very not really have a good standing throughout the whole season, right? Take an example, right? These are the two. Okay, is there any way I can enlarge the? Oh, I actually try to enlarge so that you can see. All right. That is the team do not finish ratio based on the team effort, right? So based on this one, we know that actually Lotus always did not finish the race, but we know that our champion for the most time champion, which is Mercedes-Benz, actually have the less do not finish ratio. So this tell me one thing. If I want to win the race, so first thing, my team effort and the driver effort need to be very strong. At least my first goal that try to limit my mistake as little as possible so that I can finish the race before I talk about to compete in the top place, right? Okay. So this lab, actually, this is just for us to do some of the interesting finding here. All right. So you can walk through in all the details if you want to. Otherwise, if you have run the script, then we are good to go for the next step. All right. So let me quickly check. All right. Until here, okay, I believe you guys must be very boring here, right? So it's just like come in, have a look, and then run, nothing do, right? Okay. Now we have some exercise for you. All right. So let's go to lab number 4. Okay. So, no, sorry, lab number 5. Okay. All right. When you come to the 04 mLs modeling, right, there are some exercise that I need you to do. Okay. So for you to have a look. Let me call out a new one. Okay. In this lab, what we need to do is like, we will need to find what is the best, because our ultimate goal for this lab is we want to find a most accurate model so that we can predict who's going to win in the next race, right? So what we need to do now is that in this lab, currently there are some MLs that are available in the notebook, okay? So the lab have this some part for you. We analyze some ML based on the driver's effort. And at the same time, we have analyzed some ML based on the team effort. All right. But we know that in order for us to win the race, we need both drivers and team effort, right? So let's go back to the lab. It's the same thing, all right? So when you, if you have time, you can dance all the reading, but I will just cut my story short, right? So in here, what we do is like, firstly, we will load all the data that in the F1, all right? So we will do some ML study here, okay? So right now, we actually study for the drivers, okay? We want to predict what is the driver's confidence level. So, and then when you run here, and you should get some result from here, all right? And then we will do the team effort levels so that the team reliability, we call it. Okay, we all know which team is the most reliable. So based on the data that we have, we know Alfa Romeo is the least reliable, and Williams is the most reliable one. It's because the mistake is the less, or vice versa. Okay. No, Williams. Okay. Anyway, this is some findings. All right. But in this exercise, all right, what I need you guys to do is okay, you can have a look on how they run the models here. Okay. So when we put a plot, that we know that if I want to analyze based on drivers only, I should use random forest classifier. Okay. Then I will do another ML's comparison for the contractors. When I run the ML for contractors, it tells me that SVC is the most reliable one. Okay. Now, what I need is I need to put both driver and contractors considerations. All right. So there are some exercise for you to put in. You see, your exercise is to write the script so that this script can help you to create an ML for both driver and contractors. Okay, which is the team. All right. So all I need you to do is like you go to your now we are at the lab 5. All right. Task 1, you are done, execute. So task 2, here, you need to build your X data model. All right. So what I need you to do is like, firstly, you copy the X here. And then after that, you need to filter data, right? You just go back to the lab, filter the data here. You just copy this and paste it here. All right. So here, you need to do something a little bit different. Okay. In the lab, it says this is the script that asks you to copy. However, if you copy this, you will hit some error. So what I will do for you is, give me a second. I will write you a script. Just give me a second. Okay. If you want to type yourself, there's some script in the image here. You just follow this one. If you want convenience, so I have actually did it for you. All you need to do is to copy this part. I put in the chat group. You just copy that script and put it here. Okay. Create the standard scalars and labels here. Okay. And then you can follow the rest. Like this one is to prepare for you to prepare X and Y. Okay. Implement X and Y. So after that, you need to apply the same ML, right? So you just copy this. Okay. Just paste it here. Okay. And then you plot it. Put a plot here. So once you've done it, then you can just try to execute. Okay. So remember the change is actually at the bottom here. You will see the here when you need to create the standard scale and labels encoder from the different features, right? Use the script that I post in the chat. Because if you use the lab one, then you will give you some errors. If your chart, if your script is placed in order, you should be seeing this. You should be seeing this chart, right? So it's telling me that if I want to run the model suit best for both my drivers and the team, I should use random forest. All right. And then this is the final one when I combine all the scoring to compare drivers, team, and both, right? So eventually it give me the accuracy bar chart here. All right. So I will take a pause here, about 1 minute. Let me know if you have any questions, so I'm more than happy to address for you. All right. You can use the chat or you can use the Q&As. Any questions that you want to ask me, then we are more than happy to address for you. All right. Charles, can you hear me? I don't know whether I'm mute or not.
No, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. Okay, great. So now we are in the last part of the lab. Okay, after you've done the lab 4, right? The lab 5, what you need to do is you need to bring the model and become consume ready, right? Again, you don't have to write anything. All you need to do, you just need to run and execute the lab. But bear in mind that when you run this lab, you will take about 20 minutes to complete before the data model is run. Okay. So you can try after the sections today, you can try to explore, reproduce again. Because if you're using a free trial, actually you are entitled of 30 days of free use of all these resources that you have. All right. So all you need to do now, this is the final step. You need to deploy the step to the Python apps before you can consume. All right. So what you need to do is, again, you just need to restart the kernels and rerun the entire notebook. Eventually, the notebook will automatically create the models for you. All right. Okay. So what will you see after you deploy it? Okay. Now, if you have run this step, you are ready to go for the apps. Okay. So let's bring up the apps. Okay. Okay. Launch app.sh. Okay. To execute the apps, all you need to do is you just need to type this one. Then after that, you can come to the URL, which is the port 443. And then you'll be able to see your app is running. Okay. If you don't see that, means let's say I stop it first. Still. Oh, yeah, still. Okay. Anyway, if you are not seeing this page, all you need to do is you just need to type the launch app.sh, then start. Eventually, your service will be start. All right. Okay. So what do we see here? Okay, this one actually is to help us to predict the who going to win the race. Okay, so let's try with the last race for last season, which is in the Abu Dhabi, where Red Bull have won the title, right? So it's under the Yas Marina circuit, right? So that day should be warm, I guess. So you click predict. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's start again. Continue. I think I just queue it.
I think you should be using is it the right port? 8443.
Hey, 8443.
Yeah, 8443. Or the right IP.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
Stop. I think I queue it just now. I stop it. Okay. So warm, then you can predict. You see? So once you see this, means your current apps is running. So in our last prediction, so eventually, okay, it based on our model and all the data that we have, we foreseen Lewis Hamilton will win the race. However, in the end, Max actually overtake Lewis by the last round. So I don't know what to highlight here, but I can what I need to say, like, it's a very good race, right? So based on the data, we can see some predictions. All right. So it's very interesting. Like, you can go and play around with all the data. Okay. So, but in real world, things can change. Like, all we can do in data scientists is we can maximize the potentials of the data that we have. All right. So let's conclude our labs today. When you see this, mean you already succeeded to walk through the entire lab. You have succeeded, created the data models that desires. All right. All right. I take a pause. Right. Any questions and any technical questions or any functional questions that you would like to ask us? Like, since we have time, right? Yeah. If you have any questions, have any assistance or any issues that you currently encounter, feel free to communicate with us from the chat, or you can, if you are already in the Slack group, then you can just make use of the Slack group as well.
Thanks, Matthew. I think most of the questions have been answered. I put a new link in the chat to join our Slack channel if any of you would like to join. It's a public Slack channel so that you can see not just EaseLab, but all of the things that are going on with Oracle Developer Relations. We'd like to thank you for your time today. This session has been recorded and will be sent out to you. This is the first in our series of 3, and I hope you will have seen some comments for our next 2 events. We look forward to seeing you at our next event. And again, if you have any questions, let us know and we can get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for your time today.
Right. So final reminder, if after you have walked through the labs today, go to earn your badge. This is the link. By answering some quiz, then you can get your badge, like, to recognize you as a developer. All right. Okay, that's all from me today. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Matthew and Charles. See you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.